Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
This is the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast.
Another wrestling podcast. Yes, another wrestling podcast. I am Willie Tiny, and my hosts today are LA Willie and Will the Thrill.
Yeah.
And we've got a guest with us, Glenn Mutz, and we're promoting
Hello.
Hybrid Wrestling today.
Hybrid.
I was when you got close to the camera. I was feeling a little intimidated because my beard's definitely not that long.
That's all right. You know what this was? Did you ever sneeze and try to catch it? Like,
Yeah.
you go, I did that one time and just there it was.
I think out of all of us, besides Mutz, Willie Tiny's the closest one to you.
Catching up, man.
Uh,
Catching up.
nah, I'll never catch up.
I just need.
I don't know what this says about me, but I just moved my foot and found a six-pack I didn't know was there.
Oh, well, there you go. After party.
Sure.
Finding gold everywhere.
All right. It's going to be a pretty good day.
All right. So, do you mind if I refer you as Mutz? That's
Glenn Mutz,
is that
however
okay?
you want to put it. Whatever makes you
All right.
comfortable.
all right. So Mutz, do you know how long Hybrid Wrestling's been around?
So, hybrid started, man, I want to say maybe 8, 9, probably close to 8 years back. So Mike, who started the company, and I worked together. We've known each other for going on 15 plus years now. And so he comes in and he's telling me, I knew he used to wrestle. He for like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years, something like that. Trained under Johnny Cashmere, had a lot of ins with a lot of the CZW guys and stuff like that. And he just happened to mention, like, hey, I'm booking a show. It's going to be at Lighthouse Hall in Eddystone. And you want to announce? And I was like, yeah, I do. Yeah, man. So ever since then, it was we had a really cool first bill. And actually, what was funny, one of the first guys it was a dark match, and the first guy I ever announced was Wheeler Yuta. And flash forward a couple years later, I look up one day on AEW and he's going for the championship. I was like, get the hell out of here. Wait a minute. I know that guy. So, yeah, it was really cool. And like I said, Mike had a couple of ins, knew a way to get some really good talent on the show. I think it was our first show we had Danny DeMonto and DJ Hyde up against each other. And that was just a knockdown, drag out. Like, it was funny, actually. My girlfriend was standing up against the wall, and all you hear, I think it was DJ Hyde had Danny DeMonto and was about to just wing him into the cinder block wall, and he goes, out of the way, sweetheart, and just bam, It was awesome, man. It's a lot of fun. And ever since then, like, I've enjoyed doing this. It's great. I get to put on a suit, look professional, and be loud. It's perfect.
So, how long have you been ring announcing?
So that was literally it. It was that was my first time out. Was 8, 9 years ago at Lighthouse Hall in Eddystone, and it was like, just a little background. Like, I've been in music. I've been in the music scene for quite some time. Public speaking has never been an issue with me. I don't mind being the clown on stage, and went up, and it kind of came kind of naturally to me. Like, this thing happens where you're jittery, you get up there, the adrenaline rush hits, and 10 seconds later you're fine. And I was lucky enough that the guy that trained me was Larry Legend. He took me up, showed me the ropes, And then Drew Gulak was actually there at one of our first shows. We had the amazing Gulaks, and
Right.
he was like a big help, calmed the nerves down a little bit, and was kind of, I think, on purpose, a little bit of a dick, but it was kind of funny, made me laugh, kind of cut the tension, and it was great. It was great. It was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun seeing a lot of those guys that I have announced for climb the ranks. You know, we had Joey Janela at our first shows. He's done a lot of our shows for us. So he's doing this show coming up. You know,
The
seeing a
bad
lot of
boy.
those-
Bad boy.
yeah, the bad boy himself, man. You know, and it's great, especially when something like AEW had come out a few years back, and like I said, you turn around, it's like, wait a minute, I know that guy. You know, is very cool.
Yeah, we originally did plan to have Mike on, but
Yeah.
unfortunately he couldn't make it.
Yeah,
So-
we had some outside circumstance.
This next question was intended for Mike, but maybe you could answer it.
Let's see what I can do.
What sets Hybrid apart from the other promotions?
Huh. So, at least in my estimation, like really, I don't care much for the big promotions. Kind of the same way as my music. I like everything that kind of on the smaller scales. I love indie stuff. It's just always kind of been something that I hold a little closer to my heart. I love the kind of person that's able to just get out there, put something on, and build an audience. And what sets us apart, I think, number one, since show number one, we've always booked really good talent. Like we've had top of the line talent. We've had, you know, one or two names that you see them and you're like, there's a little something for everybody. Because of this promotion, I've gotten to work with Zach Saber. I've gotten to work with, sorry, having a bit of a memory lapse, but I've gotten to work with guys like Zach Saber, Abyss, Masada, Nick Gage, a lot of big names. Actually, Homicide, which that was, if you ever get the chance, one of the most fun things. We did a show in Showboat a few years back during COVID around that time. I believe it was Ace's Low. It's on YouTube for free. Everything we've ever done, you can find on YouTube for free, by the way, which is another great thing. But I cut a promo with Homicide, who it was probably the funniest 2 minutes of my life. And in the midst of it, Nick Gage goes, you know, I wish Homicide would shank Glenn Mutz right now. I was like, it was like the biggest moment of my professional wrestling career. It's fantastic. But you know, I think that speaks a lot to our company. Is, you know, we bring in one or two big guys. I've had Gangrel, Carlito, Warhorse was in a couple of times for us, and you know, we get big talent and they put on great shows for us. And you know, there's nothing worse than when you see like an indie kind of thing and they bring in like a big name and they're just not up for it or this or that. And every time we bring in a big talent, they're always up for it. Oh, that's a great picture. They always have like a fantastic match for us, and it's great that we can bring those guys in and have them put up that kind of show for us. So I think that helps set us apart a little bit, you know. Hopefully that was a satisfactory answer.
That was actually a good answer.
Thank you.
But in your opinion, what wrestler has the best ring introduction?
From my point of view,
Like,
Yes.
Yes.
okay.
yeah, from like how they approached you and tell you how they wanted you to announce them.
So my favorite one that I've introduced of all time, and it was only because I marked out like oh, okay. Oh no, I mean like from my perspective as I was calling them into the ring. I got to do
Well, that's going to be the next question.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
I jumped
for
the
me-
gun. I was too excited.
no, it's okay. I
you're
mean,
right. No, Will the Thrill. You're right. You're right.
My favorite entrance of all time was still just like the madness of seeing Sabu come to the ring in the old days of ECW. Him and New Jack, they kind of set the what I find to be exciting about professional wrestling, where there is a wild card and he is flying towards the ring. You don't know what he's going to do, and it's terrifying as hell. So to me, that was always like the best one. Them and like just from like a big name like classic pop, the LOD, like the old Legion of Doom.
Yes.
The fact that they named it the like the Road Warrior Pop or the LOD Pop, man. It's you go back and you watch those old '80s promotions when they were with like what was that, like the AWA or the WWF guys and stuff like that, or the NWA,
way back.
And they would come out, and here are these guys that are probably barely known, but they looked so intimidating and they looked frightening as hell, and the kayfabe was still just like dead in place. And even if they weren't, they're still like the two most terrifying human beings I've ever laid eyes on.
Oh yeah.
And they just come out and literally down to a single person. Like I remember seeing them at a house show 100 years ago, and down to the person, everybody freaked the fuck out. It was the coolest thing you can imagine.
I mean, the shoulder pads, like the whole like Road Warrior aspect of it.
Even before they had that, and they just had like the dog collars on, and they were just like pumped out of their skull. Like Hawk's shoulders were. I mean, like for a guy that could move like that, to have his shoulders look like bowling balls, and they're just absolutely the most terrifying human beings. It was the best thing to watch, man.
Yes, it was.
For sure.
Yeah. You can tell I'm old because I remember this like as it happened. So
Mutz in
the golden age.
So the time you've been doing a ring announcer, is there any one in particular you model your ring announcing, or is it all genuine Mutz?
I don't know. You look back and you listen to the guys like Ray Finkel. Ray Finkel? Did I say Ray Finkel? No, I didn't. Did I?
Howard Finkel, I think.
Howard.
There you go. Sorry,
Howard
I got Ace
Finkel,
Ventura on the brain. Howard Finkel. But you listen to those guys, and oh my God, my face red. But you hear guys like that, and they had those like that iconic voice. And for me, I had a guy who's been going to indie shows for as long as there have been indie shows, and he was like, "Yo, I love it, man." He's like, he's like, "You're one of my favorite announcers." I was like, "Get the hell out of here! I'm just some moron from Delco, whatever, sure." And he goes, he's like, "You can hear in your voice like that you're trying to put them over. You're trying to generate a little bit of a reaction for them, because sure. I have a tendency to kind of hit that like, and making his way to the ring, weighing in at 235 pounds. This is," and then just like bam, like nail it out, like try and like hit. It's almost like when you're singing and you just. To hell with a lot of the other notes. You want to hit the note that everybody's going to hear, and everybody's going to go like, "Oh, that was cool." You know what I mean? So like when I would call like a guy like Warhorse, I would just hold out that like, "This is Warhorse," like that, and try and get everybody into it. That's kind of I don't know, maybe that's my little stamp on things, but.
So maybe AEW should hire you. Yeah.
Hey, listen, man. If they're paying the bills and they want to bring me along for the show, I got you.
So, you want to start going to the match card?
Yeah. I would like to say, just harkening back to one thing real fast. I didn't get to finish up. So, when you talk about like guys that I've announced, I marked out like an absolute child, right? So we had Gangrel do a show for us with Hybrid at the casino in Chester at Harrha's. And so he comes out, he's got the goblet, you know what I mean? And I usually do the, making his way to the ring entrance. And like, he wasn't even one of my favorite wrestlers when he was doing it back then. Like, but being able to go like, "Gang!" and the blood comes out. Oh Oh my God, man! I'll tell you what. There was like pins and needles from my ankles all the way up. I was like, that was so cool. that was one of my absolute favorites, man. To have a guy that's got that kind of experience and to see him still do that gimmick, like just the blood, just you know what I mean. And there's me, and I'm the one introducing this guy, and it's like that was fucking awesome. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, man. If you want to take a look at our card, let's see what we got going on.
All right, let's start with this match here.
Sure. Oh yeah. So I'm going to be honest. Two guys I don't know a ton about, but I will say that we have never in hybrid had a tag team match that let anybody down. We always have great tag team guys. So even kind of a blind react, I'm going to tell you that both teams, because I know what we look for the guys that we bring in, they're going to have a really good team chemistry, which, again, like an indie show thing, it's kind of rough when you see a team come in and they don't have like any chemistry. It's just tag, do your spots, tag, do your spots, tag, do your spots. But we've always had great tag matches. So I'm excited for this one. Because another one for me is I am a little bit more of a casual fan, and I will admit to that. That's, just who I am. I always love seeing tag team matches because tag team matches are my favorite part of wrestling. As you can tell from me talking about like Legion of Doom and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I love seeing guys that can work together, and I love seeing young guys that can come out and like really kind of put their stamp on a show. And so I, without even knowing much about them, know that that's going to be a killer just because I know the caliber of team that we usually bring in. Yeah,
I'm familiar with the new back.
Yeah,
but the Kellys, they're new to me, so I'm interested in seeing who they are.
So am I, and I'm judging by the backwards red hat that the NU part is a little on purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I'm waiting to see what kind of Limp Bizkit vibe these guys are going to bring out.
It's more like Backstreet Boys.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I was trying to.
Oh,
trying to get.
That was my second guess because of the frosted tips, dude. I'm definitely amped for that one now. That one's going to be fun. I can already see it.
All right. On to the next
Charlie.
one.
Yeah, man, Charlie. I remember we had Charlie a few times. Yeah, we've had Charlie a few times. I haven't run into Mr. Price yet, but Charlie, I know we've run into each other quite a bit. They had a great gimmick with the Young, Dumb, and Broke guys. He was always kind of more of the the muscle guy, the strength, the power of that team. So it's going to be interesting to see how he stands alone as a solo guy because I haven't kept up much. I'm excited to see it because I think that Charlie, I always thought had like a really, really good in-ring presence. So I'm going to be interested to see how that transfers to him as a solo talent. I'm looking forward to that one. I was pretty amped when Mike sent me that picture. So, I'm hoping for great things.
Alec Price is a pretty good up-and-comer, too. He's pretty wild. He's good. Really good.
That's good, man. I love seeing the up-and-comers. Like, I remember back in our really formative days, we had brought up guys like Jimmy Lloyd before he, like, really took off. And we had Mathers.
Marcus Mathers, yeah.
Marcus Mathers.
Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus Mathers. Yeah, Marcus.
That's cool how you kept it clean for Jimmy Lloyd.
Yeah, I tried. It was one of the funniest gimmicks. If you ever get a chance to see it, it might have been a dark match, but we had quite the match with him the one time with Gigolo Jimmy, we called him. And but I remember when Marcus Mathers was coming up, we've had a lot of young guys, like a lot of young up and comers that I was like so amped to see because those guys are so hungry. and every match is out of 10. And so I love that kind of vibe, and I'm guaranteeing that's going to be another one that's going to be right up there with them.
On to the next match. As we mentioned,
Bad
the bad boy, Joey
I
Janela,
cannot-
was already mentioned for the show.
I cannot tell you how pumped I am for this particular match. We got to have Facade at one of our matches when we did the Monster Factory a few years back, and I was flabbergasted that I had not heard much about this guy. And the show he put on was just an absolute like aerial display. He's a flyer. He is like stunningly agile. And some of the moves that he pulled off in that match were just awesome. And when you look at a guy like Joey Janela, who is like, it's great to see him back in this circuit again, because he always puts on like a big match. Whether it's he's got a lot of versatility to him. Like,
Yes, he does.
He's the kind of guy that doesn't say no to anything. He can be a deathmatch guy. He can be a technical guy. He can wrestle a family show. He can wrestle a hardcore show. He can do anything. And so what I'm really excited to see, these two, I was really hoping we were going to be able to book these two guys years ago, but we didn't get that opportunity. And now we do, and I'm psyched for it. Because seeing a guy like Joey Janela, who always is a showman and is always entertaining, up against a guy like Facade, who was literally just, he can jump off of anything. I don't know if you've ever seen a lot of his matches, but the springboards, the third turnbuckle, the off the apron, the this, the that, and he is like, I'm over the moon about this particular one. So
nice.
It's just cool seeing you get hype over it. And we're just
Dude,
talking about it. That's awesome.
I literally, it's cool because, like I said, like I'm more of a casual like fan. Like I keep up with some of the indies, and I do work with another federation and stuff like that, so I get to see a lot of these guys coming up. And but this one, it definitely harkens back to a few years ago when I was still a little bit more in the scene, and I'm definitely looking forward to this one. Quick thing, I do have a quick thing to the folks watching us right now. I was told by the big boss that we have 3 pairs of front row tickets to give away during the course of the podcast. Obviously, all 3 of you guys are invited to come see us at our expense. So all 3 of you are already invited. But what I would like to say is if we can get anybody who has any interest in coming and you give me a good reason, we have 3 pairs of front row tickets to give away. So that's 1 pair per entry. If you guys know anybody that's looking, if anybody that's in the audience right now, I don't know. I can't see the chat right now, but if there's anything going on in there, just direct them directly to me, my personal Facebook, and have them message me, and I will get back to them with however we can take care of it. It'll probably leave their name, will call, whatever it may be. But I wanted to throw that out there real fast before we got too far in.
Make a comment. Just all you gotta do is make a comment.
Yeah, absolutely. Make a comment, and then I'm going to leave it 1 to each of you guys. So you guys each pick one, send them my way, and they get to come see the show just like you guys at the expense of Hybrid Wrestling. So we'll be amped to see them there.
We thank you.
We thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, absolutely. And thank you guys for having us.
Yeah.
So now I'm sorry. Now with that small interruption, we can continue down the line.
I just wanted to say we got the bad boy versus the Neon Ninja.
Oh yeah, the Neon Ninja, man. Yo, I'm telling you, there are probably just in the shows I've done with Hybrid, there are like probably 10 guys, like 10 or if you were to put it down to 10. Facade was one of those guys that immediately after seeing him, I turned to Mike and I was like, you need to book him more. Like we need to get him here with us, like as much as possible. And, you know, whatever scheduling conflicts or whatever it may be, or we weren't able to get him for a little while. And seeing him back on here, I was genuinely hyped, man. I was like, yes, let's go. So that was a big deal for me.
On to the next match.
Tasha and Allison. Yeah, man.
Yes.
Tasha Steele
Allison.
is, yeah. So Couple of knockouts.
Yeah.
So Tasha, one of our favorite people. We've had her on quite a few shows with Hybrid. She's like one of our favorite people. We've had her in doing some tag action with Kira Hogan. She won the Knockouts tag championships with
Mhm.
Kira Hogan. We got to have them in at one of our shows, maybe two of our shows now I think about it. But so we've had her in the Bodhikura Badass, which by the way is one of my favorite things to say. Allison Kay, yeah, another former knockout champion. And so it's going to be definitely a high caliber match. I will say too, Hybrid, we try to put over trying to think of how to word this the correct way. But I feel like a lot of times women's matches sometimes suffer by getting lower on the card, and we like to push ours as like top tier matches as much as we
Good.
can. So we always try to go after like top tier talent. We've had Willow Nightingale, we've had Holiday, we've had like so many big name ladies in as well, and this is definitely one of those matches that I'm looking forward to. Tasha, it's so funny because she's so small. Like
Mhm.
compared to me, I'm 6 foot, 6 foot 225, and I look down and she could absolutely eviscerate me like a Wolverine. So I always look forward to her matches. She's she's such a badass. I love it, and that's definitely going to be a top tier like kind of number one match. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a good one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I mean, they perform pretty well. Like I've seen, steals on
hmm
TNA and all that, and it's like a shame they don't get too much, like publicity or like you say, push to the top. Because I mean, there's a lot of great women wrestlers out there.
There's so many good ones, and now
Mhm.
like I feel like I was around at a time where through my younger years, the women's card, especially on the big name promotions like
Mhm.
WWE and WCW and stuff like that, they really weren't pushed all that well. The ones that were, it was mainly for looks, and then we got into like the early 2000s where it was, in the late 90s where it was a lot of like just an excuse to show tits kind of thing, um, and a lot of the ones that got put over based on a lot of their looks, not so
Mhm.
much their talent, and then seeing girls that could break through and actually had like some viable like killer talent, and they had the charisma and they had everything. And now I think we're starting to see that there's a lot of because even on a lot of the major
Mhm.
shows, like just reading reviews and stuff like that, like now we have ladies matches that are crushing a lot of the
Well,
lower card and mid card stuff. That's just
Well, I was gonna say
great.
like this past, like Saturday's, live event,
hmm
like the women's
Right.
Money in the Bank, like that stole the show. That's
Yeah. That.
easily hands down like match of the year. And here in our
Right.
household, we were like, this should have been the main event, not
That's
not the three
that
on
that
three.
that that was kind of everything I had read about it was
Hmm.
basically that was the consensus was that that was one of the top matches on the card, and you know and I think we're starting to see that a lot more now, and I think that for us at Hybrid, that's always been our mo. We've always had great ladies matches, and it's something that I hope we continue to do because we've had a lot of really fun a lot of really good ladies that can hold their own
Yeah.
come through, and one of the ones that I'm immediately think of is if you go into the Hybrid YouTube page, it's got by far the most views of anything we have, but it was Maria Manic and Penelope Ford, and
Yeah.
that
Wow.
was
Yes.
yeah, and that was before either of them had really kind of broken up and out, and that was a fun match. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to announce.
Mm.
We had an absolute like call it on the fly moment happen and got out there. It was extremely entertaining, and then to see those girls both take off in the way that they did was really cool.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, I it's just one of those cool things about doing like indie announcing, I guess.
Continuing with high quality women's wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
we have another women's match.
Oh yeah, man. Homegrown talent, Gabby.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Philly girl Gabby. Going to be great to have her out. Marty Bell. We had her do 1 or 2 shows with us quite a while back. One of our first shows we had Marty in. Also, it was one of those things. I was like brand new to the announcing. You know what I mean? Here comes Marty Bell. Hi, Marty. Nice to meet you. Blah, 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 whatever. How do you want me to call you out? I'm standing there with my little 3x5 index card. You know what I mean? You okay? All right. Yep. She gave me like 17 accolades. so it was like, wait a minute, what? It was like, okay, and making her way into the ring, 3-time belt winner, New York City, this federation. That happened as well. Also, 3 more things. Let me turn this over. Also, you may have seen her as part of. She has been with this and that. And I was like, Christ, pick 3. So, Marty, if you're watching, pick 3, and we're going to stick with that. So, but Gabby, Philly girl, which brings about a natural kind of toughness, let's just say. And so I'm amped to see what she's going to do, because Marty Bell was a lot of fun when we had her in. She was also still kind of a little bit on the coming up. So I'm amped. I'm amped to see what's gonna transpire between those two. Really looking forward to calling.
Gabby also just won a women's tournament this past Saturday.
Right.
The CW Arena.
Yep.
Nice.
She's going to go on and face Battleground Championship Wrestling's women's champion, which is
That's
Debbie
awesome.
Moe.
Yeah. That's it. Hey, listen, we got a belt contender in here. This is great.
Yeah. As you were saying, I meant to say first, with Bell's ring introduction, it's like Kenny Omega's. Kenny Omega's got a laundry list.
Yeah, God, Kenny. Yeah, right, exactly. Oh yeah, you don't have to mention every country you've ever been to, Ken. That's fine. Was funny. I mean, like the parts of being an announcer that are like really fun are obviously like a lot of the backstage moments and stuff like that. Like, just like the kind of the raw conversations and getting to see the humanity of people that you may have only seen in a ring and stuff like that is it's very interesting. When we had no, he's not very well like these days, but the story, we had Teddy Hart and Ricky Shane Page, and we're at the Monster Factory, and we're standing there, and I'm getting all their vitals and everything, and I go, Ricky, how am I calling you out? He goes, 6 foot 250. So all right, no problem. I was like, hey, I'm 6 foot 250. How about that? At the time I was. Turned to Teddy Hart. I'm like, how about you? He's like 6 foot 250. In the midst of saying this, he folds himself in half, puts his arms down, and starts doing vertical push-ups, like you would in a handstand. And I looked at Ricky. Ricky looks at me. I was like, "Oh, for what it's worth, like your 250 looks better than mine." He goes, "Yeah, that 250 looks better than me." And it was like, "Yeah, all right, fair enough." And he goes, "He's definitely the sports part of the sports entertainment tonight." And I was like, "Yeah, fair enough." Like those cool little like goofy little conversations, and just like that look of like who's who, what's what, and some of the shit you hear backstage is just always so great.
We have one more match to announce that I know of.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, Jimmy's
There
back.
he
Baby
is.
Gigolo Jimmy's in the house. So Jimmy, I am always so psyched when I get to see him in places, and getting to see him take off. And then we got Johnny Cashmere coming in, man. Believe it's his second go around with us, and with Jimmy, I think it's his third or fourth with us.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. We literally, it was a lighthouse show. We had Jimmy on, and he was still like really green, and you know, it's like, all right, this kid, you know, it's one of those things you look at, you're like, good on you,
Yes.
bud. Hope this kid kills it. And now
He
to
has
see him
potential.
on the, he did. He had a lot of potential. He was one of
Yes.
those guys that didn't say no to anything. Did everything the right way. Helped us do everything. Was putting out chairs, helped flyer, helped do this, helped do that, and really put in the
Nice.
work. And I'm happy to see him get the success that he has. And then Johnny Cashmere, who you know, if I'm not mistaken, a local guy. I know Mike, who started Hybrids, a very good friend of his, and I'm going to be anxious to see what that's about. It's going to be kind of cool. We have a veteran and a guy who now I think is just starting to kind of hit that veteran status in Jimmy. So that's going to be
Oh yeah.
going to be a good match. It's also going to be interesting seeing Jimmy in a non-death match kind of environment again.
Oh yes.
See how that goes, you know, because it is always interesting to see those deathmatch guys when they have to kind of do like a hardcore show or a family show. We've had deathmatch guys do like a family show, which by the way is just the most entertaining thing in the world.
Nice.
Yeah. We just covered 6 of matches. Will there be more matches at it? Do you know of?
So I know we usually keep our cards pretty close to our vest. Although I don't think I've ever done a hybrid show where we had less than 8.
Yeah.
So
there
I
might
would
be
not.
more matches.
So a possibility.
There's always a possibility, and I've had ones where even I didn't know we were going to have a surprise entrant, or we've had ones where guys dropped off, and I was genuinely shocked at the quality of person that we were able to scrounge up in a short amount of time. That's how we ended up getting Abyss for one of our shows. So knowing the kind of talent that we're able to pull and knowing some of our connections, I wouldn't be shocked at all to hear that we might have something up our sleeves.
Nice.
Very well.
How's that?
Nice.
Yeah, not bad, right?
Not bad at all.
No, not at
Yeah.
all.
So, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, because my question was going to be, who are your influences that ring announcing? Hopefully, I said that right.
It doesn't have to be a wrestling. Anybody who
No.
ring announce. Anybody.
Right.
You know, I mean, you've looked at guys like Michael Buffer. He is like almost the show by himself a lot of times. Again, you look at a guy like Howard Finkel and stuff like that. You know, I really, I don't think you can really break it down to like one person. Like, I don't think really I had much in the way of like a real influence, as much as just growing up and remembering what those guys when I was younger sounded like. You know, because now I think you look and you hear like in WWE, like can't think of her name. She's got just
Samantha Urban.
Yeah, she's just got that strong female voice, and she really pushes it out, and it's like, and that was again just kind of more just my plan going in. You know, for me, it was a lot more like singers and showmen and guys like that, and even like thinking back to like the way the old like circus callers used to do it, you know, or like those like and I mean it sounds dumb to say, but it was like, you know, those guys they had to project and they had to be loud and they had to get everybody to turn around and look at them. And you know, I think back to like going to like metal shows. It's actually where I met Bill. Was like through metal shows. You know, you're on stage, everybody wants to be at the bar, outside smoking, talking to a girl. You have to get their attention and you need to get them in here and they need to look at you because you have 30 minutes of something that you need to sell to them. And so for me, I think it's more so that, you know, if you can be the loudest guy in the room and make sense and have those eyes turn and look at you, then you've done your job. So that's more so my MO. More than having like an actual person, I think that would be like an influence.
Nice.
Well,
Also-
I have a question
also-
for you. I have
also
a question
Joel
for you.
Gertner.
Actually, it's more of something I would like to hear you do, if you don't
Oh,
mind.
jeez. All right, I'll try
If
my
you could do Willie Tiny as an announcer.
best. Well, like as if like I'm bringing him down to the ring.
Yes, you are bringing him out.
Oh
First-
man! All right.
Oh God.
Here we go.
All right. So we're going to do some vitals. So, Bill, you're what, 6'4", 310, right?
Excuse me.
That sounds about right.
Well, he
All
made you tall, Willie Tiny.
Man, spot
Yeah.
on.
So he's 6'4", 310.
And I am Willie Tiny. That's my ring.
Well, man. All right, I'm going to try my best. Then making his way to the ring at 6'4", 310 pounds, from parts unknown, he is Willie Tiny!
Yeah.
Thank you. That was great.
That was awesome.
Yo, he's the biggest.
That
Yo,
was
man.
awesome.
Thank you.
He's the
Thank
biggest
you.
guy in Southeast PA, right there, man.
Thank you, man. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Good, man. I'm glad I made your day.
Thank you.
Yeah, you definitely did.
Oh man, there we go. Hey, listen. So, just a quick thing. One more sales point. If we've got you and you're still interested here, you're going to follow that QR code. It's going to take you to our Eventbrite page. You're going to buy some tickets. You're going to use the promo code Hybrid PA. That's HYBRIDPA, and you're going to get $5 off your tickets. So,
Nice.
Sweet.
one more time, we're going to have you three guys at our expense come down, say hi, check out the show. Maybe we can do a little follow-up podcast or something like that. We're going to have everybody go to our Eventbrite page. You can check us out on Facebook, any of your socials. Just check out Hybrid Double Down, July 27th, 4 p.m. ring time. So check out our QR code. Use the promo code Hybrid PA. Can't be stressed enough. So if you guys can do that, pop on down. We're also going to have our little bit of a giveaway. Like I said, I'm going to leave it up to the three of you guys. You guys each pick one person, send them to me. I'm going to get them taken care of. We're going to comp them up. Also, while you're there, bring your party gear, man. Upstairs, they're going to have a lot of stuff going on up at the bars. I personally used to work at Harrha's in Chester. I know a lot of the bartenders. I know they're going to look forward to having a little bit of a pop of a crowd. So if you're there, I mean, obviously, if you have your kids with you, it's going to be a little not so much good. But go on upstairs, check it out. You know what I mean? Be prepared to spend a little bit of money and have a good time. So one more time, because I am a salesman, if nothing else. What you're going to do is go to our Eventbrite page. Again, that's Hybrid Wrestling of Pennsylvania. What you're going to do is buy your tickets through Eventbrite, use the promo code HYBRIDPA, and then you're going to come on down and have a great time.
There you go.
Couldn't say it any better.
Listen, man, we're trying. We're trying.
What a thrill.
Hybrid Wrestling presents Double Down. Saturday, July 27th at 4 p.m. Harrah's Philadelphia Casino and Racetrack in Chester, PA. 4 p.m. is bell time. Be there.
Yeah, man, I like it. And don't forget, we are a completely 100% top to bottom local promotion. We are Delaware County based. This is the dream of a local guy. You're not giving your money to some like fly-by-night promoter. We've been doing it here for a long time. We started out down at the Lighthouse Hall in PA. We did some shows in Atlantic City. We've had the Monster Factory. We're trying to make Harrah's Philadelphia our home. So the bigger turnout we get for this one, the better turnout we're going to get for the second one, and the better the talent is going to get, and the better everything is going to get as we go forward. They have a very professional setup down there. We've done a couple of shows there before. We did an indoor, we've done an outdoor. We had a great time for all of our events there. So really can't stress enough what it means to the local people. You know what I mean? I mean, you can go and you can give your money to a national, one of the big national names and stuff like that, and that's cool. But really, you're just kind of, where's that money going? This money is going right into funding the next show, getting better talent out, and putting on a better show that you get to see from 5 feet away instead of 400 rows back. So, it's that kind of thing.
Support local wrestling.
Amen to that. Support local everything.
I have one more thing for Mutz here. I'm gonna take a page out of Will the Thrill's book here. If there's if you could hop on a time machine anytime in history, whether past, present, or future, what match would you love to announce? The competitors.
Man.
There you go, Will.
That's a tough one. There was a. Hang on a second. Give me just 1 second because I want to make sure I don't get any of this right. Get any of this wrong. There was one match that stuck out with me, like for years, right? And let's see here. Hang on a second. Almost there.
Well, at least we can still hear him.
I know it's a lot. Okay. So there was a Clash of the Champions match back in like 1988, right? And it had, I believe, the Powers of Pain. Does that sound right? Barbarian.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, the Warlord and the Barbarian.
Yep. Yes. Warlord and the Barbarian. And it was a 6-way, right? With Dusty Rhodes and the Legion of Doom. Wow. And
nice.
That's the one I would call out. Just to be able to call Dusty and the LOD on the same team. And Animal had the broken nose, so he had the Jason, like the hockey mask on, and he looked bad as shit. And if I could be the guy that announced that one, that would be the one.
Nice.
Very cool.
Very good.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Any more plugs?
I think that would...
Any personal plugs, bands, like?
No, keep an eye out. I mean, I'm always in the midst of recording something, putting something out. Me and my friend Jimmy Carter have something going on. If you're a friend of mine, or if you come across,
shout out to Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter, probably going to be titled Simo Haya after the famed sniper of Finished Descent. So we're looking forward to doing some recording with that. Also, anything having to do with hybrid, it's great to be back out here, man. It's been a couple of years since we were on the scene, and it's great to be back in, just back in the spotlight again. I also do some announcing for Bloodstorm Pro that's based out of Tremont Spot over at the H2O Wrestling Center in Williamstown, and we're going to be booking with them in a few more months. So it's good to be kind of back in the loop, man. It's good to be back out there. I know that like COVID really put like a damper on a lot of stuff, and now I'm starting to see a lot of things open back up and get out there. Also, if you're ever down at Xfinity Live, and I'll tell you what, tough,
good old Lefty.
Good, you can see all 6'4" of him. He was sitting down. So, but like if you're ever down Xfinity Live, pop on by, say hi. I'll be happy to get your drink for you, man. I work down there almost every Phillies game, and I'm down there all the time. So, yeah, that's about it. I think I covered all my bases, man.
I had a picture of you and our friend Alex Stretch, but
Stretch! Yo, listen, yes. Stretch is just such a genuinely cool human being. And so I've started a tradition with him that when I see him and he's got the crimson mask, I have to get a selfie with him. And so I've had like probably 4 or 5 with him, and just what a genuinely cool guy, man.
And a bottle of Fago.
Amen on that one.
Oh yeah. He was psyched. They had a different Fago flavor the last time I saw him. And listen, I am not a juggalo. I am not that. That's not my scene. But if it's yours, by all means, go for it. And yeah, I'll tell you what, he wears that with pride, man. Go for it, my man. I mean, as you can see, I'm like big Misfits guy and whatever. I have a bunch of stupid heavy metal tattoos, so it's fine. I get the fandom.
All right. Who wants to?
Don't forget to like, share, comment. Comment if you want those tickets.
Get those tickets.
And subscribe to Three Wheels of Wrestling.
Yep. They're free. Parking's free. Come in.
And the promo code, Hybrid PA.
That's HYBID.
Nope, missed one.
No, I messed up the spelling.
I'll cover this part. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be HYBRID PA. So that's Hybrid PA.
I can't spell.
That's all right. It happens, man. I still have to tie my shoes with the bunny ears. I can't do
Oh, I do that too. I do that too.
All right.
Wearing Velcro for so long, I had to relearn.
Guys, I would like to say thank you so much for the opportunity to pop on and say hi.
Thank you.
You know, hopefully the next big event we get to have, I get to stop in and say hi. So, tell Melissa. Where you at? Oh yeah, tell Melissa I said hi. My old Fatima friend. Give her a high five for me, and tell her I'll see her at the show when you bring her by.
We sure will.
We're gonna take this home. You don't have to leave yet. We're gonna hit our music and we're gonna close out.
All right,
ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble.
This is the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast.
that was a lot of fun, guys.
That is a lot of fun.
I didn't think it was going to be that long.
Listen,